I'm not outside working today. It's threatened to rain down here for the last couple of days, even though it's really not rained that much. We've only had a couple of sprinkles and things like that. I just don't want to plan to go out there and dig in the dirt if it's going to rain. They keep saying it's going to. I probably could have gotten some work done on it, but I didn't know. I just got through making my WWDC video. If you don't know, Apple had their WWDC 26, I guess, announcement. They used to do like these live presentations that everybody used to watch. If you remember, they're pretty iconic. It's where like Steve Jobs announced the MacBook Air, he announced the iPhone, the iPad. Since COVID, they started doing these pre-recorded type things. They're almost like long commercials or whatever, where they talk about the new features of Apple. This one was pretty lackluster, but I do cover it on my other channel. If you guys want to see that, you can. It should be up by at least in the morning. If you're watching this, it's probably up. It may pop up there. If it's not, it'll be down in the comments or in the description if you want to check that out. I do have some pretty interesting takes on it, but it was a pretty lackluster one. Today, though, what I wanted to talk about, some of the products that I use to make my videos. I just wanted to share that with y'all because I don't think I've ever really talked about that stuff. Sometimes I may mention something or whatever, but I've had many people ask me over the years that I've been making YouTube videos what I use. Some people think that I make nice videos. Everything that I've learned how to do as far as making videos, I learned on my own. I've never done any video editing or anything like that before. I think sometimes the videos I make do look really good, and I think that sometimes I make some and they're really off. Like color is a thing that I still struggle with all the time. Man, I a lot of times I'll look at it and I'll think that it's fine, and then I'll see it or I'll put it up and somebody will say, hey, why is your face orange, or why is this like this? So I still struggle with color a lot, but I have learned some pretty cool techniques. Even more so, I've learned what products work and which ones don't. And I think that that is something that I would have given $1 million to know when I started building my YouTube channel. I went through a lot of things to find out the things I know. The first thing I want to talk about is this camera. And actually, I just got this recently, but it's been around for a long time. Some of you may have seen these little crazy little cameras. A lot of people carry them around. This is a DJI, and this is an Osmo 3, DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and it's got this little screen on it, and you can flip the screen like this, and it's got this gimbal on it. And you can see it's looking at me now, but if you push this 3 times, it'll spin around and look at you. This is just got to be, even though it's crazy shaped, it's not really what you'd expect for a camera to be. It has got to be one of the handiest things I think I've ever seen, and it's opened up my world a lot for a lot of things I can do, because when you're a creator, being able to film yourself is a struggle. You have to have autofocus. And a lot of people don't realize that autofocus is not something that's been perfected very long. In the last few years, most cameras have gotten up to par with autofocus, but 3 years ago, there were still cameras that were struggling really hard with autofocus. Luckily today, you can buy almost any modern new camera and be pretty good. This camera is just so versatile because you can take it anywhere. Also, my wife, I'll have her film me sometimes. She's always willing to help me, but she's not the best cameraman. She doesn't know anything about it. And this is a really light camera. It's easy for her to hold, and it doesn't shake because it has that gimbal. So that's really cool. It's easy to point at yourself, and it's easy to point at somebody else. You can also turn it around pretty quickly. There's a ton of accessories for this. Like this little thing did not come with it. It's something you buy, and it's a magnet. Not only is it a magnet, but it has a cold shoe mount there, so you can put lights and things on it. And it has a Swiss Arca plate where you can put it in a tripod, all right from this little cage. So it's almost like a cage for it. Another thing I like with this camera is the battery life. With this extended battery, lasts like 5 or 6 hours recording. And with, I think this is a 256 gigabyte card, it will record for like 5 or 6 hours on the codec it uses for videos, and that's in 4K, which is just absolutely amazing. It's how I've done a lot of the time lapses and things like that. This has been an amazing camera. I waited so long to get it because it's been out for a few years, because man, I'll just be honest with you, I don't like buying the things I see people hype up on YouTube. It's really hard. And I know that's crazy. While I'm hyping something up on YouTube, I'm saying, hey, I don't like buying things that people hype up. But a lot of channels, man, get stuff and they just hype it up either because the company gave it to them for free, or because they're paying them, or because they think that it puts them in the company's good graces. And I've been a victim of buying stuff before that other YouTubers said was good, and I've almost always regretted it. This is one thing I did not regret buying, though. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube career, or you just want to document some stuff or have an external camera, as odd as this camera looks, I have to say that it would be absolutely be my first choice if I was going to start a YouTube career today. This is one of the most versatile cameras, and not to mention it actually looks good. The footage it makes, I mean, it's not going to look as good as this camera I'm recording on here, but this camera I'm recording on here that you're seeing me on is a $3,200 camera. This one is, I paid $399 for it and it was brand new. I did get it on like a discount site though, like Woot. You can find them for that price now because they actually have come out with the DJI Pocket 4, but you don't need that. I'm telling you, there's nothing that the 4 has. You can't even hardly get them in America anyway, the 4, but there's nothing that it has that's better than this one. This one is great. It does great. It looks great. I'd say that they're still going to sell a ton of these, so you probably won't see them that cheap. You can get something that's called a creator combo that runs a little bit more. I think those are around $500 or $600. But what it comes with is like a case. It comes with this extended battery, this microphone, and let me say that's exceptional too. The way the ecosystem works, like this microphone just always pairs with this camera. You don't really have to do anything, and it sounds good just right out of the box. Just, you know, you can literally take the video off of this, put it on your timeline, add the audio, and there's very little you have to do to any of it to make it look good. But I bought the microphone, I think, for $49, and I bought the extended grip, I think, for like $69, and there was nothing else that I needed from whatever they had in the creator combo. So you can get that, or you can buy it all separate. Doesn't matter. Some people say you need ND filters, and I'll be honest, man, I've been in some really bright sun and haven't needed any ND filters at all. I bought some when I first got it, and I actually ended up sending them back because they were more annoying than they were helpful. But that's another thing you see a lot of YouTubers pushing is get ND filters, get all these different products to go with it. If it was me and you're looking to get this, get the camera, get the extended battery. You'll definitely need that. Get you a little tripod. This is actually not the tripod that goes with it. This is one I had for something else. And get one of these little cages. They're like 20 bucks. They're not much at all. And get yourself a microphone. You definitely need to get the DJI microphone. It works with a mic 2 or a mini mic, and you are good to go, man. You are a one-man studio if you do that. And I can't say enough how much I like this camera. As you can probably tell, I don't really talk about things like this, but I love this camera. I have a GoPro that I have right here. I never use this. I hate it. I don't like it at all. I would use this 100 times. I would throw that in a fire over this one. Like I can't stand that GoPro. I hate it. I would spit on it to save this one if that somehow would save it. All right, another thing that I use a lot is this is a different camera. This is a Lumix S9. A lot of people use Sony for cameras. Sony has a huge brand name. You know, they've done really good marketing and they're good cameras. You know, I'm not dogging Sony's at all, but this camera cost about $1,000 used, and I can get just about as good of an image as I can out of this camera that I'm recording on now. It's really light. I've got a huge lens on it right now, but normally you don't have to have a lens that huge on it. This is the camera without it. This is my second go-to camera after that DJI. This one's amazing. You just get, it's full frame. You get great video out of it. And it's okay for audio. I usually capture audio separately, but this is a really good camera to have, and it's cheap. At $1,000 for a camera like this, it's a steal. Cameras like this normally cost $2,000 or $3,000. Some people have complained because it doesn't have an eye thing like a viewfinder, but for video you really don't need that. And if you're used to shooting on a phone or something like that, you don't need it. I'm not really sure why anybody would complain about that. There's tons of cameras that have those viewfinders on it. This one doesn't, so you know, it's just like one camera. Don't buy it if you need a viewfinder. Obviously, if you need a viewfinder, this isn't the camera for you. If you're willing to go without it, you'll really find that it does some amazing videos. 95% of the videos that I've done before I got the Pocket 3 were with this. All right, the videos I do on my main channel, on the Jeff Check channel, when I do like a big review, like a MacBook or something like that, I shoot with this camera that we're on right now, which is a S1 II, also from Lumix. This I would buy, actually, if I had it to do again, I would probably just have bought this twice. You know, the S1 II I wouldn't even have. I would just have this one twice. I'd have one to walk around with and one to have in the studio. It's that good, and it's super inexpensive for cameras, as far as cameras go. Now, of course, if you're just starting YouTube, you may not want to spend that kind of money. Here's the thing, you hear a lot of people say things like gear doesn't matter. just the best camera is the one you got in your hand. And all that is true to an extent. But if you go into YouTube and you start looking at all the guys who are really successful, are they, and you ask them, are they shooting with their phone? Or you watch their videos and you find out they're not. They're not shooting with their phone. Most of them are shooting with at least a mirrorless camera, if not more. And I think that when you get really serious about it, this is probably something that you want to buy. You want to get yourself a dedicated camera. Plus, it's a lot easier than shooting with your phone. When I first started, I did shoot with my phone. I had a GoPro and I shot with my phone. It was just a pain in my ass. It really was to shoot with my phone. I would get notifications and text messages and things like that. And it just really was a workflow nightmare. Once I got a dedicated camera, it got better. I just wish I'd known which cameras to get. I didn't really know. I had to sort through all the shit on YouTube. I'm telling you, I really have kind of a negative experience when it comes to buying products that people recommend on YouTube. I've bought some cameras, things like that. It just seems like a lot of channels will tell you everything they look at is good. And some channels will tell you everything they look at is bad. And it's all about the algorithm, not really about helping their viewers. There's a few out there, but it becomes hard to know once you get all those other ones mixed in. So this was another one that I wasn't sure about. I did take a chance on it though, finally. I really like it. I really enjoyed this camera. I would buy it again in a heartbeat. In fact, unless something changes with the way that we consume videos or something, this would probably be forever the camera that I buy. The autofocus is wonderful. They're getting there with the lenses. Sony has more lenses than Lumix does. They run on something called the L mount. L mount is like an open lens thing. Like they have different companies like Sigma, Viltrox, Blackmagic. I'm not gonna name all of them, but a lot of companies are involved in L mount. So they are developing lenses fast. I wouldn't doubt here in the next couple of years that they don't have more lenses than Sony does. But as of right now, they have every lens that you could need. I can't say enough good things about this camera. It's been amazing. Another thing that I use, and I don't have it right here, but I'll throw a picture up on the screen, is the Sennheiser microphone. It's called an MKE 600. I use the MKE 600 when I'm in the studio doing stuff like this, even though this has become my go-to, is this DJI, just because it's so easy. I really like the way the MKE 600 sounds. If you're a guy who cares about audio and you want to capture some good, clean audio, this is an amazing microphone. It's not a bad price either. You can usually find them for around $299, and some of you may think that's a lot, but if you're producing video and you want it to sound good and you want it to be on the level of some of the other creators that dominate this tech space, then you gotta have some nice stuff. So I really like this microphone, and for what it is and what it sounds like, that's actually a deal. It's just amazing. It makes my voice sound amazing. Everybody that I've ever heard that uses one also sounds amazing. It's been a great microphone. I'm trying to think of other things that I use. I've really gotten it down to not much. I have a lot of things. I'll tell you another thing that I use a lot, and a lot of guys wouldn't tell you this, but is this teleprompter. I do not use this thing all the time. Obviously, I'm not using it now, but when it comes to like doing a review of a MacBook or an iPhone or something, there's a lot of specs and things you have to remember. My brain is way too absent-minded to remember that stuff. I don't necessarily put a script up on the teleprompter, but I will put the specs like on bullet points up there to make sure that I don't forget any of them. And then I have a foot pedal where I just kind of cycle through those bullet points. It also helps when I'm live streaming. That way I can look at the comments and respond to them without having to look away from the camera. And it makes a difference. I think that you guys don't want to look at me looking over there or over here. The teleprompter actually was a game changer for me at first. And of course, you have to be able to read pretty good. And thankfully, I can. Not because of me, but because of my mother. My mom taught me how to read really well. She used to get really upset if I would say or do say things that were not right. So she gave me the ability to read really well, so I can read off the teleprompter well, and I think it sounds natural. Maybe it doesn't. You guys will have to be the judge of that. I can get through it. If you are pretty decent at reading and you are absent-minded like me, a teleprompter may not be a bad idea. This is from a company called Elgato. They make a lot of video production stuff like Stream Deck. They also make some cameras and other foot pedals, just everything they make around recording or live streaming. A lot of it has to do with live streaming. They make a lot of capture cards and stuff like that. Elgato, this is not a cheap thing though. This costs more than a damn microphone. It's like $399, I think is what I paid for it. But I have to say, it's worth it. It was worth it. This absolutely changed the game for me. When I got this, my videos started being a lot more focused. I was able to make sure that I remembered certain specs, things like that. And so when you're talking about tech or cameras or anything that has things you need to remember on it, unless you just have a really good memory, I would absolutely suggest getting a teleprompter. I don't use it all the time. Some people think that it's cheating or something to read off of it, but you know, they're actors, they have them at movies, and the news, you know, has them and stuff like that. I think it's just making sure that you're delivering good content to the people that's watching. It wouldn't be very good if I did a review and forgot half the specs for a computer or something like that. So I got a ton of tripods, a ton of lights. Neewer, Neewer, has been a go-to for lights. I use a lot of their lights and stuff like that. The other thing that I probably use the very most is my Mac computer, whether it be my M1 Max laptop or this Mac Studio display and this Mac Studio M1 Ultra. Still going hard today. It was also a game changer for this channel. It allows me to process these really big, intensive video files, just like the one that you're watching right now. One of the reasons why it looks so clear and why it's so smooth is because of this computer. It is a game changer. It is a very expensive computer though, and I was very lucky to get it. Somebody actually that I am friends with that is a graphic designer lets me get all their Apple leftovers, you know, when they upgrade, and I was able to get this for pretty much a song, which is insane. And actually have a review coming out on the other channel about this, my 2-year review with the Mac Studio. And that's, I think it's gonna be a pretty good video because it's been a very good computer. I can't even say much bad things about it. I don't think I can say anything bad about it. It's still going strong years later, and I don't see any time where I plan on upgrading it. That is the backbone of this studio, really, is the Mac Studio display, the Mac Studio, the Lumix camera. And recently we added the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and it's been an amazing camera and microphone system. It's a really one-stop shop, and it allows me to be mobile. It's how I do the walk and talks and how I go to Home Depot and all that stuff is because of this, because it's just too, imagine trying to hold this, you know, with a lens like this out in front of you and for long periods of time. It just wouldn't happen. And that's why you didn't see me doing a lot of that stuff before I got the DJI Osmo. I'm fascinated with it. It's been one of the best creative decisions I think I've made to buy this camera. It really opened up a lot of lanes for me. But all these things do a lot of things. I have more things that I use too. Maybe one day we'll do a proper studio tour after I get everything remodeled and situated. Still working on that. I got a lot of stuff I need to put together and do, and we'll be visiting a lot of that stuff over this next week. As if it rains or whatever, you know, we'll do little projects in here and stuff like that. If you guys want anything or you want to suggest anything, feel free to leave it down in the comments. If you have any questions about any of this gear, you can ask me questions about it too, right down in the comments. The more comments you leave, the more the algorithm recognizes that people actually want to watch this content. We just passed 100 subscribers. I know that sounds crazy. I have another channel that has like 23,000 subscribers, but this channel just passed 100, and that is a milestone. I appreciate it. For you 100 guys that were on the ground floor, you got in on the ground floor on this channel, and you'll get to see it grow and see what it becomes. I don't even know what it's going to become. But I have definitely enjoyed the freedom to talk about whatever I want freely. That is something that I really appreciate because of my other channel. It's a lot of pressure. The more subscribers you get, the more pressure it just feels like. And it's really refreshing just to come over here and just talk about whatever and be myself. I appreciate you guys for supporting that. As always, please hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.